at the dashboard, what it's going to look like for you on Indeed. I know that's something you wanted to see, and the best way to segment the campaign. Obviously, I want to be able to talk to some other points of Indeed, maybe that you're aware of a little bit, or that you'd like to learn more about,
Sure.
and of course answer any questions. So, was there anything specific besides what you mentioned yesterday that you wanted to focus on today?
No, man. Just show me what you got, and I'll ask questions along the way, I guess.
Cool. So just so I know where to begin, how much do you know about Indeed, I guess, compared to some of the other sources that are online today?
Um, Relatively, I guess, just what I know about all of the aggregators in common. I know Indeed is the leader in the space by a big margin. Um, I know that you guys have original jobs posted and you guys aggregate and people submit feeds, right? And submit, yeah.
Yep.
Yep. That's basically what I know. And I know about, I have a basic understanding of PPC campaigns. So hopefully we won't have to start with 101 there, but definitely you start me at 101 so in case I miss anything.
Cool. Well, you definitely got a head start on most of the folks I'm speaking with, so I can appreciate that. You're absolutely right. We're an aggregator, definitely the leading aggregator online. We're actually the second largest search engine online behind Google. That's really the easiest way to think about what Indeed is, Google
Right.
for jobs. Right now, we have 3 out of every 4 job seekers coming to us. So just like you mentioned, it's a numbers game, and more so than that, for the clients I work with, I mentioned to you, I'm only working with folks doing some type of staffing, consulting, recruiting across the country in regards to their relationship with Indeed. And it's really much more so about the quality, being able to deliver quality candidates to you consistently, to make sure we can sustain a partnership long term.
Right.
So we are the number one external source of hire, have been for the past 4 years, and really that trend's not going anywhere. Just because we have more opportunities to make those hires for you, more job seekers use Indeed than anywhere else. So one way that we'll definitely be able to be successful for you, besides just driving you traffic on Indeed, is throughout pushing your jobs to our partner network.
Gotcha.
Right now, yeah, we're close to almost 30,000 sites in our partner network, and obviously the goal here is to cast the widest net possible on Indeed. So I'm sure you're familiar with maybe killing time, maybe you're just online shopping, what have you, and then you're prompted to go look at a set of golf clubs or a new vacation spot, something that you may have been researching recently that's coming up and almost being targeting you. They're behavioral targeting in a sense.
Right.
It's the same approach we take with our job seeker behavior. Based on how a person's searching or the sites that they visit, we can send your relevant positions, the ones that closely match what that person's line of interest or what their profession is. We can have that appearing in front of them on any number of these 25, 30,000 partner sites of ours.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really great. It pulls about 30% of the folks that come onto Indeed are coming through right through here, which is pretty impressive. But
I'm not familiar with that site that's just to the right of Facebook.
yeah. I'm not either. I honestly wish I could say what was still there, but for whatever reason, it switches over to Mac Airs. I'm not complaining about that. Loving the new computer here, but it doesn't like to display whatever that is. So I guess we got 24,999 partner sites.
That's fair. That's fair.
I like that. So I wanted to talk to you about a promotion that we're running here, and it's really only in regards to one product. There's only a few ways to work with Indeed, so you'll see it's a very clean cut model
Okay.
for the candidates to use and for our clients, really. We've always tried to make it the best experience for the job seeker on every side of things, from the job search side, which is really where Indeed reverts to when you go to Indeed.com. You're just looking in the shoes of a job seeker. We've really made our resume database extremely easy to use and navigate for them to post their resumes, but also for you, for our recruiters and staffing clients across the country
Right.
to dive in there. Is that something that you're familiar with, our resume database?
I've searched resumes on your site before. Not something that we would necessarily use since we have our base. But yes, I am familiar with it.
Okay. Well, I guess let me ask you a little bit more about what you'd be looking to get out of Indeed, just because I'm looking on the site and I'm obviously not signed up to look at these positions, but
You don't need to be. Just go to staffmeup.com/jobs.
okay, yeah, but I clicked on the jobs link here, so I can see a lot of these are brand new. How many active positions would you say you are working on at any point in time?
500 new ones per week.
500 new ones per week, and are these typically um, are they contract jobs for the most part?
All over, yeah. For the majority,
All over. Okay.
they're contract jobs. Some are like full-time staff position. But for the majority of the jobs that we post, they're freelance contract jobs. And
They are okay.
it is free to apply. You just have to register.
That's what it is. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, we do have premium plans for some of our more ardent the people that use our site. We give them some goodies to play with, some upgrades, so you can pay for that. But just to submit your resume and apply, that is free on StaffMe.
Oh, nice. Okay, I'm sure that's appreciated.
Yeah, of course. And isn't that one of I mean, we've always been like that, but isn't that one of the things that Indeed requires, that there's no, like, when you click over to a job, there's no paywall?
You're exactly right, and that's why I wanted to ask. So I appreciate you clarifying.
Yeah, no problem.
That that's that's good for me to know, because that actually is. You're right. It's a barrier to be able to work with Indeed, just because that's something that I guess we don't really support. But obviously that's not the case with your site here.
No.
So that would really be, I guess, my my first step after today's conversation is to make sure we're scraping your website. We are aggregating this and being able to drive this traffic back, because it looks like you have the what we would need in order to do that. Unique URL for each job. Once you click on it, it brings you to a brand new page, or
Correct.
the URL at the top of the page changes rather. So that definitely meets all the guidelines to be indexable. And then obviously, you have the tracking set up on your end. I assume some kind of automatic tracking where we'd be able to add Indeed as a source. That way you can see, hey, this is what I got from Indeed over the past 2 weeks, month, what have you.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what kind of analytics your dashboard provides. But yes,
Right.
We in a broad sense, we do have that set up on our side.
Okay, cool. And that's obviously something that we need to know. We have two different ways you can work with Indeed: on the hosted side of things, where we host those positions, or we're driving the traffic back. Obviously, whatever you choose to do is how we're going to proceed. You'll have some visibility, much more so than I can, if we're driving the traffic back to you, obviously, because that candidate ends up in your portal. So I'm limited in what I can see about that, but that's a more detailed way to work with Indeed. So I'll bring over actually a live screen of one of my current clients that's running off of an index campaign, as we call it.
Okay.
So there's a few ways to work with Indeed. Featured employer is truly our best foot forward. This is something that is dependent on job volume, so you qualify at different tiers. It's the only piece of branding that we offer on Indeed, so you'll notice all of our search results are extremely clean cut.
Yep.
There's not much to look at. So it's right where the eye is drawn to. You get 3 postings on the lower half of this ad unit. You're not limited into what's going to show up here, because it's solely based on relevance.
Right.
So obviously the most closely matched positions are going to come up here first. As a featured employer, you also get sponsored jobs. So this is really the bulk of what we do. This is the bread and butter of Indeed, how we've been able to grow to this level we're at today. We've been sponsoring jobs and driving better traffic back from this region of our page to all of the folks who are sponsoring on Indeed. Now, I mentioned as a featured employer, you'd have free access to our database of resumes, but for you, for what you're looking to do and what it sounds like with this job volume and how quickly they come in, it sounds like speed and volume are going to be the real factors at play.
Right.
being able to drive you a good, volume of resumes in a quick amount of time, which will really be from, this section. And then of course, when we sponsor jobs, we duplicate them for free on Indeed. So I did want to run a live search. That way we can see what's happening in your market with some of these positions.
Okay.
What's the job that I guess you just got in, or one that you typically are staffing for? You'd want to take a look at.
Let's go production assistant in Los Angeles.
All right, let me try to rerun this. It didn't give us a featured employer, and that's okay. Typically, it's that's gonna do it when there's something closely enough matched to the search. So we didn't have one before. Now we have one. You can see that there's a GlowCap search showing up here.
Okay.
They're getting that visibility right here in our sponsored section as well. But obviously, these other folks are relevant enough that they're coming up here.
Gotcha.
So you'll notice that this job's 14 hours old. This one's 2 weeks, and this one's a little bit over. In the sponsored section, time is not a factor. So your job can be, two weeks, 2 months old, and as long as it's still relevant enough, it's going to appear here when a closely matched job search has been done.
So the sponsored jobs are the jobs that are PPC, correct?
Correct, exactly. So
Okay.
if someone clicks on one of these, A&E Networks, who's sponsoring this, a small fraction of their budget would be utilized every time someone clicks on it from this section.
Right. And then everything below those three, that's organic.
You're exactly right. This is all organic traffic. Anything delivered from here, and again, we'll duplicate everything. So you have a production assistant job sponsored on Indeed. We'll duplicate that in the organic section. Any clicks that come from here, you're obviously not charged for.
Gotcha.
So in this section, time is a factor. You can still get great traffic, and people do still receive quality candidates from here, but you can tell 25 new jobs already added since the search. We're actually pulling about 8.2 jobs per second onto our feed, so you can imagine how quickly the older ones are getting buried.
Right. Is there any way, I emailed you a spreadsheet with about 50 jobs titles on it. Is there any way to send that to your tech team to find out what what the performance on those searches are? Because that's going to help us, build a more intelligent, segmented campaign to begin with.
Yeah. So can you repeat that? I was just looking for the email. Was that from?
I sent it yesterday. It's an attachment. The attachment has about 50. Let me see. Hold on a second. I sent it at it should be timestamped 3:04 p.m. 3:05 p.m. yesterday. You're on the East Coast, right? Yeah.
Okay. Yep, I am. No, you got that right here. So how many people are actually out there searching for these?
Right. So in other words, how does this perform? Whether that's monthly searches or whatever. Like we would love to know, how these perform so that we know what we want to segment and put all of our, well, not all of our, but to know which of these areas to put our money on. Is that possible to do?
No, that makes perfect. It is, yeah. I'm actually pulling up something right here because we have analytics for Indeed for a number of industries, but obviously it doesn't get as granular as we'd like sometimes with something as specific as the ones you sent me. But we do have another way to search. So let me just download this, and then we can try to. I don't want to run them with you over the phone, but I can probably do this and then come up with a few analytic reports to send back.
Yeah, it would be great. And like I said in the email, if we can add location to that too to see which ones are the most popular locations, that would be amazing. But whatever you can do.
Yeah, let me actually pull this up now. I'll see. I will see if we can do this right here. Um, so let me just click on one where we are going back to the person's. Obviously, I'm clicking on a free one here. So they're using Smart Recruiters. I'm not sure what I actually was just on your site, going through the apply process. It's obviously very clean, so it'll
Yep.
look just as clean as it does. Very easy for the job seeker. So just one click and then they're over there, just as we did with this one. It'd be the same as yours once we have your website crawled by Indeed.
Well, I mean, are you gonna need to crawl my website, or can you accept the XML feed?
Oh yeah, no, that's actually since we're gonna go that route, that's how it would be. And then anything that you added to the XML that comes onto Indeed, same as what you remove. It's typically whenever that feed runs, which is a few times a day.
Nice. Yeah, that's fine. That's great.
Okay, so let me see what we have for some of these analytics. If it's able to, I'm gonna go with just a more. Hmm. Yeah, I don't want to take up too much of your time right
No,
now,
no
but I
worries.
know we have a way that yeah that we can go in and actually search for a few different, more specific kinds of analytics. Because I definitely want to get you some info on this because that's what it comes with. It comes with our top locations, everything like that.
Yeah, and is that something that we have access to, or no?
If I was able to provide the link and it wasn't, I'm not sure if it's something that you need to be logged into our CRM and everything like that. So
Right.
I really don't know if that would be able to be utilized outside of Indeed, but if it can be, then definitely.
Yeah, gotcha.
Um,
All right. I mean, let me know either way.
cool. So other than this, I know you were looking to see what a campaign actually looked like, what our
Yeah, or what the
dashboard looked like.
dashboard, right? What the dashboard looks like.
Let me bring over one of my clients right now. All right, so this is essentially the client dashboard for an indexed campaign. It gives you a number of different ways that you can see how you're doing. Obviously, there's going to be the organic traffic report, which is going to be displaying what you're getting for free from Indeed.
Nice.
And then we have a breakdown of your paid advertising, your sponsored traffic from Indeed. Daily spend, this is what the dashboard looks like. Now you'll notice that these are all blank because we're sending them back to this client's website, their ATS. So we're relying on them for feedback on conversions, on how we're
Sure.
doing, as far as obviously things like that. So there's those details I obviously won't be able to show you here today, but that you'll be seeing on your end once
Um,
we're underway.
so the download, but this doesn't get as granular as which job got clicked and how many times, right?
So you can break it down by campaigns if you have different segments, and that sounds like what you were talking about as well. Making sure we can have different segments so that we're not driving 80% of your budget to only 20% of your jobs.
Right.
So this person, you've decided to segment their $3,000 budget out into three different campaigns.
Right.
One for 1,500 here, and in that regard, you can see the actual breakdown of spend per campaign. As
But
far
not
as
but not spend per job.
I don't believe I don't believe it gets to that level.
So in other words, I'll give you a perfect example. We have about 300 fixed position names on our site. The industry is not really much bigger than that when it comes to positions, right? Our industry, TV and film production. So we would, let's say, the list I gave you is our top 50 jobs posted on Staff Me Up. So we might segment those into their departments, which is casting, assistants, producers, this and that. But there would, I guess, what I'm trying to ask is, would there be a way to say, okay, well, we have a segment called casting that includes casting assistant, casting director, casting editor, casting producer, and casting recruiter. Out of those 6 positions, casting producer performs the best on Indeed. There's no way to specifically see that. Is that correct?
So there is. It's just something that's generated at the end of the month. I see exactly where you're going. I thought you were looking for an actual, breakdown per job in a daily sense, and I don't believe you're able to see that. But for what you're talking about, where hey, the casting assistant editor received this much traffic, or there were this many clicks into the casting producer. At the end of the month, we can show something like that, or I think I really can get it at any point. It's just I need to request it from our technical counterparts from our client support team, and that's going to be a click by title report. So that'll actually show the organic clicks, the sponsor clicks that went into those specific positions.
That's fantastic. Do you have a sample output that we can take a look at?
Yeah, let me actually search and see if I do have one of those just saved on my. All right, here we go. Did that come up on your screen right now?
I can see it, yeah.
Okay, cool. So let me see. Yeah, we're looking back a little bit, but this is the first one that my computer populated from back in February. So this will actually show again the job title, the location, of course, so you can match it up on your end, and exactly how many clicks it got. So at that rate, you can see how much traffic was dedicated to each position. Again, it doesn't look like we have a way to see the individual cost per job, but I can see if this is typically what we send out to our clients. I can see if there's something that would show us that, but again, that would be at the end of the month once we've had some traffic under our belt to actually see what that looked like. Actually, I'm looking at it right now on another screen. So
okay.
again, that's what we send out to our clients. But again, forgive all these screens coming your way.
No, it's okay.
Here's another one, and this is the one that I guess I was able to download for that same time frame, and you can see what that average cost per job was. So you really can get it down to that point.
So this is based on company, job title, and city. So if there were, let's say, multiple Southern Oaks, whatever that is, MDS, whatever, Pensacola. So if there was 3 or 4 jobs that had those, like that company, that title, and that city, well, I guess the company would be Staff Me Up, or anyway.
Yeah. That's just yep. They had a few different divisions.
So would that be split out as, let's say there was 4 production assistant in Pensacola? Would that be spread out each one or all together?
That would be if there were 4 different positions.
Correct.
They would show up differently.
They would show. Okay. All right.
They would show individually.
Okay, good. That's all I want to know. Okay, great. Yep. Great. And I guess there's no way to add a field like a custom field, which would be like our job ID, which is a little bit easier for us to track. So I don't know if there's a way to add that.
To add the job ID, so since we're going to be doing an XML, it's essentially the same as what we're looking at here, which is we're indexing it, we're driving the traffic back to you. You would be able to do it that way. So let's say they have 42 jobs, but they don't want to sponsor all of them.
Right.
Which I'm assuming is the same route you'd like to go. Being you have so many positions, I'm not sure how many you'd want to start with.
Correct.
Anything like that. But what you can do is create tags. So I believe this point, we would just be able to, pick and choose. I think actually having the tag is something that my technical counterparts do, where you would include something, IND 123 at the bottom of your job description that you
Right.
wanted Indeed to pick up, and then we would write the same rule on our end, so that way we were only picking up those jobs and sponsoring them. Anything that you tag will be sponsoring, and then anything that you remove the tag from will fall out of the sponsored section.
And can that be used also for? Um, can that also be used for the analytic run at the end of the month, where you'd be able to see like the tag that was applied to each job?
I believe so. I believe if as long as because even so, say you started to sponsor a job on October 1, and then you removed it from the campaign, and then you removed it halfway through the month, and then at the end of the month we looked at a click by title, or we looked at these reports. It would still include any traffic that you had received for that job that was sponsored, even if it didn't go through the duration of the month. If hopefully I answered that right. I'm not
Yeah,
sure if
well,
that's
I
what you
mean,
were
well,
asking,
like
but
the Excel spreadsheet that you just showed me.
yeah.
Is there like, can your tech team, when they're running that report for us at the end of the month, can they add another column that adds the job ID, which can be set up as a tag?
I will ask them about that.
Yeah, please let me
So
know.
add another field that would
Add
be the
another
job
column,
ID.
right? Add another column that would include the job ID, and we can submit the job ID in. I mean, it's already part of the XML, the job ID. It's actually part of the URL. I mean, my God, the URL would work too. Just the URL of the job would work as a column. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I can because each one goes to its own.
Correct.
Each one goes to its own.
Correct.
Okay. I think we would be able to do that. Again, we'll ask them just regarding the tags or creating a field for the URL, whatever will be easier for them. But just to see if it's even possible at first.
All right. Yes, please.
Definitely. So I know we've covered a lot so far, Micah, and I appreciate the fact that we're a little bit past the slotted time. But
Oh,
do
no
you have any
worries.
questions based on what we've discussed so far, or anything about Indeed, our algorithm?
No, I mean, I guess at this point, let me know about. I mean, if I just have a couple of deliverables by you, is let me know about the answer to that question about the URL in the monthly spreadsheet. Let me know about if you can get the standard XML. Let me know what the formatting is so that we can work on that on our side, so we can get moving as well. And also, do I have a username password yet that I can access this dashboard so I can check it out myself, or do I need to set it up?
So the first step would be you do have a username. It's just your first name. So it's just Micah at staffmeup.com. That's your login for Indeed. That's what we'd be using. So as we looked at with this one, T-Blake, you'd be just using that to get in here. And then once we have your website crawled, or I'm sorry, once we have that XML picked up, this is what you'll be seeing. You'll be able to add different campaigns, and then we'll be able to talk about exactly what that looks like.
Okay, so what password do I use when I log in?
I unfortunately I don't know the password. I don't get to see it for your account. When you log in, maybe your computer will just remember it from Indeed.
Oh, so you're saying
Again,
you're saying I already have an account?
yeah. You started the process up, which is just creating your account on Indeed
Gotcha.
from your corporate email address. So it's just Micah at
And
staffmeup.com, and you haven't sent any free resume contacts, which is nice. I know you said that's not something that you could probably make use of, but everybody gets 100 of those at no charge, so you'd be able to dive into our resume database.
gotcha.
Next.
So this is jobs. This is trying to find that dashboard.
Are you logging in, trying to log? Oh, so because we don't have anything picked up, you probably won't be able to see anything like this
Okay.
yet. But
is it a different type of
what I
account that
will
I
do.
need, or because I right now it doesn't say Indeed for employers, right? For me, it just says Indeed. So is this a different type of account?
Is it like this? Are you
Yeah,
seeing?
yeah, that's exactly what I'm seeing. Yep.
Okay, cool. So what you're looking at is the hosted side of things.
Okay.
That's if Indeed's going to host the opportunity, meaning you'll just post your jobs directly to our site.
Got it.
The job seeker stays here for the application process.
Right.
But you can see what we've got here is the option to click on campaigns. You probably aren't seeing that on your screen just because there's no XML or anything indexed yet. But
Okay.
once we do have that picked up, you'll be able to see both sides of it. But this is where you'll be going into, obviously.
Got it.
Like this.
Got it.
So while we're on that note, I'm going to, just before I forget, I just sent you an email with what my technical team provided me as generic, pretty generic instructions for creating an XML for Indeed.
That'll work. Just need to know basically what you guys need. Awesome.
Yep. So it's just has an example XML feed. It's got a series of requirements, everything like that, acceptable policies. So I'm not sure if that's something you'll be doing yourself or someone's a technical counterpart there. But obviously, if you or they have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I'll do my best to answer anything in the technical sense. But if need be, I can obviously bring one of my counterparts in.
Perfect. No, this is great, man. We will work with this. This is great. Awesome. So yeah, if anything, just please let me know about the search terms that I sent over. If we can get some base of what those the traffic on those searches are, and let me know obviously on the monthly output if we can include the URL of the job. It just help us track better.
Absolutely. So I've got a few of these that I can take a look for. I'm not sure again if we'll have data for each one.
Okay.
But whatever I can get as far as any more specific analytics for these different segments, I'll pull and print to a PDF and then send over your way.
All right. Perfect.
And then I will wait until I guess I get something back from you in sense of an XML. But we can, I guess, continue this conversation next week or whenever it makes sense in terms of which positions are top of mind, and I guess what an appropriate monthly budget would look like for the positions you want to get started with.
Yep, sounds good. And I think it's pretty ironic that the commercial that you guys made regarding the Indeed commercial about everybody on this commercial was hired through Indeed.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about? Those are
of course.
Those are all production positions. That's what we do.
You're actually absolutely right now that I'm thinking about it. That's what every single the one where they kind of pan across and show
Correct.
everybody.
Yep.
Yeah. What's cool is actually I think it's still in the base of my emails. Yeah, the making of. If you get a few minutes, I would watch that one because the one that we show on TV is just a 30-second spot, but you'll see a lot more of the candidates that you place if you watch that quick making of video.
That's
awesome.
The one
I really like a lot more than the actual commercial. It's just interviewing and introducing all the different production assistants and all the different people that we brought on as a result of needing to brand ourselves out there. But it came out really cool. I think you'll like that part. You'll like that part if you like the commercial itself.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I'll take a look. All right, man. Alex, thank you so much. Look forward to hearing back from you, and we'll work on the XML feed from the side.
Sounds great, Micah. Thanks for the time. I'll speak to you in a bit.
Sounds good. Bye.
All right. Bye.